Wes?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Brilliant. Okay, excellent. Okay, here we go.
Okay.
Are we there? I can't see whether we're there or not.
Excuse
We
me.
are there. We are live. Hello, and welcome to the Blue Tweezer channel with myself, Alan, for the channel, and my regular opponent for these weekend bust-ups. It's Rough Swordsman Wargamer. Put your virtual hands together and claps for him.
Good evening.
And if the more astute of you who are actually watching the screen rather than just listen to this on audio, as if we have a special guest. We have a special guest tonight. We have the veritable king of Great Battles of American Civil War. We have the Emperor of Death Valley. We have the one and only Stiglr with us.
Wow, that was an incredible build-up, which I absolutely cannot live up to.
Yes,
but I'll do my best.
My bill will be in the post, and prompt payment is appreciated. Welcome to the stream, and particularly in the previous ones, you've been spitting out rules at me. And I've been either accepting or posting them and going, no, that's not what the rules book say. So now we can have a different kind of battle alongside the the actual game itself. On who knows the rules best, and it's definitely not me.
That's me. You guys are teaching me.
But yeah, maybe I might be able to get some licks in at some point. But defer to yourself.
Well, I have to give you guys a lot of credit for sticking it out and giving it the old college try. I know over on the Great Battles of the American Civil War fan page on Facebook, we had a person who has, I think, been a member for a while, but has always been kind of complaining a lot about the complexity. And just this week, I think he put his copy of Death Valley up for sale somewhere, and
Sacrilege.
took a little bit of pleasure in announcing that to the people there on the site, that who knows, who might not have a copy already. And it was kind of like, okay, I had to ruefully watch him give up, I guess. But what are you gonna do?
Well, there's no accounting for taste, is there?
No.
No, there isn't.
Yeah, just each to their own. But anyway, we seem to be having fun. Well,
it's fun.
Rough's having fun. I'm just getting beaten up. But it's a kind of fun. It's a fun I'm used to, and just something to do on a Saturday evening. Well, our time anyway, Saturday afternoon. So yeah, I'm just while I'm chatting away, I'm just going to request if you two have a little conversation. I'm just putting out posts to try and what I call calling for reinforcements here to see if we can get somebody to turn up and watch this complete for our go. It'd be great.
Just everybody in the chat, if you can say hi, just so we know we're getting through to you. That
Indeed, thank you. Yes.
Wonderful. See who it is, and we can wave at you. So, Stig, how are you involved with this game?
Well, several years ago I got involved with the playtesting for all of Death Valley, and I kind of threw myself under the bus by volunteering to create these vassal modules. And at the time, Death Valley was going to be seen as I think maybe a 4-battle game, and each one of the battles has its own module. So already it was a very large project. And then as we got further and further into it, Greg Lawbuck just kept adding more battles. And so, it was kind of like I was already in too deep. I couldn't back out. And I'm like, okay, how many are we going to end up having? So in the end, there are, I think, 8 modules, 10 battles, in the box, and I've had to create the vassal modules through playtesting and also arrange for the finished product, or at least what appears to be the finished product. They're never truly completely finished. There's always errata and stuff like that.
Yeah. Or
And
something. Yeah.
yeah, so yeah, I've basically created all of these modules, and then I've also begun some projects of my own that I'm working on. I'm also I'm kind of like the series vassal guy. So I create all of the modules, although I'm getting a little bit of help from someone else who's like adding other features that I didn't build in. Um, so yeah, that's kind of my involvement. I'm kind of in deep with the uh, the person who owns the rights to uh, the series and everyone else who is involved with it, namely Dick Whitaker. He's kind of the new Poobah,
Uh,
the new Richard Berg, and in fact, as the story goes, Into the Woods came to be when Rich Berg himself roped Dick into taking on a remake of Bloody April, and that's what Into the Woods will become. So he's kind of handling the reins of the entire series as well as building his own games. And then we have Bill Byrne, who's kind of the rules overseer, and he's been working hard to smooth the rough edges that have always kind of been there with the evolving rules. And that is truly a thankless job. I sometimes think that Vassal is a thankless job, but the rules have got to be a bit worse. But he's good at it, and he puts forth his best effort, has his heart in the right place, and more power to him.
no, it's good. So we're actually playing on one of your vessel modules now, are we?
Yes, you are.
And I remember, here's the rules here, and I remember watching your unboxing of this Death Valley, and you gushing over the fact that these had brand new rules, and these were going to be, the ones everybody will now use, but they're rewriting them, aren't they, for Into the Woods?
Uh, well, yes. These rules actually had a lot of not only clarifications, which is always the case,
Mm.
but this particular set, the 2019 rules, um, kind of overhauled stuff with regards to artillery, with regards to how cavalry can avoid contact, things like that. So there were some actual additions to the rules, and also for these later 1864 battles, the addition of open order rules for certain battles, the skirmishers for the 1862 and 1864, I think. Both some of them are some of the skirmisher rules are present in multiple battles throughout the box. So those are actual additions. The clarifications part, that is just ongoing, and you'll see some of that at work when Into the Woods is released. There's going to be some additional rules specific to Shiloh to deal with the fact that it was a heavily lightly wooded area. I'll
Yeah,
put it that way.
yeah,
And so with the rules the way they are here with woods, they basically block. You can see into one woods hex, and then after that you can't.
right.
Well, you apply that to Shiloh, and you find situations where you read what actually happened and where an artillery battery was situated and who they were firing at and how much woods was in the way, and you can't do it. You can't replicate it with the series rules. So Dick set about creating a alternate set of rules for the woods at Shiloh, and I think those are probably going to come out in the wilderness battle that Albert Smith is working diligently on. So that area is kind of like Shiloh in that there's a lot of second growth woods. There are going to be rules for um, say moving a brigade or a group of units to an intended position and then finding out that they kind of got sidetracked or lost in the woods, and there's going to be some offset. So, you might have entire brigades kind of shifting position, and which is an interesting thing. One of the really good things about this series, from my perspective, is that it it takes a lot of the omnipotence that we get. We can kind of see who's where, even if the pieces on the board can't physically see them. We know a lot of stuff, and we know the history too.
Mm.
And a lot of the rules are there to kind of take that veneer of control away from the players and mimic how little the commanders actually, quote unquote, commanded anything. With the order change rules and things like that, to where you can plan to make this great flank attack, but if your leaders don't change their orders to attack when you need them to, well, that opportunity goes begging. And if you read a lot of history, you'll see that that happened a lot in the Civil War. So, all these rules about getting lost and leaders not changing orders and all those vagaries of combat, I think really, really do the series a great favor and add a lot of flavor. But of course, then, the other side of it is there's just more rules complexity.
As I'm finding out. But I am enjoying myself. So hi to everyone in the chat. So while you've been busy, Tweez, we've got Crossing Obstacles, Michael, Fred.
Fred, indeed.
Brun, hi Brun, and congrats again.
Brun of the new Next War career, I understand.
Yeah.
Oh, well, there you go. Well, unfortunately, this channel is we're a bunch of complete cheapskates, and we don't give anything away. So, well, you might as well log off now.
Yeah. There's no free prizes here, even though the other with the war room, of course. Yeah.
But we do have a special guest who's a subject matter expert on the game we've got here. So that's great. After all that, I feel like we've had a kind of access all areas, behind the scenes of Great Battles of the American Civil War, what's coming up and what the controversies and the difficulties are and stuff. So that's brilliant. Thanks, thanks, Stiglr. That's brilliant. Excellent.
Always happy to help.
Sure. Right. Should we play a game or just keep chatting and we'll?
I'm happy to do what I don't mind.
Upset everybody in the chat.
No,
Move some counters. What's the matter with you?
I'm good company, so,
Well, yeah. I'm not necessarily, but yeah.
I wasn't including you, Tweez.
Sorry?
I wasn't including you.
No, good. That was probably a wise thing to do. Good. Okay, so we're on turn 2. So this is the fourth live stream on this, and we're just on to turn 2. And I picked this really, really small scenario so we could kind of bash through it and do it. But of course, it's never like that, is it? Because Rough, you go off on tangents and stuff. We get special guests. It just all falls apart. And there's nothing you can do. I mean, I've just it's.
Go with the flow.
Bad direction by me.
Enjoy the process.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, don't care.
It's not a competition.
Me and Rough, we can just let our hair down.
Oi.
Virtually, yes. Good. Anyway, so right, under the watchful eye of Stiglr, no pressure on, well, particularly me, but both of us. So we need to do some initiative rolling. So we need to roll a D10 each to see who goes first.
And also the player who had initiative in the previous turn gets a +1 to the
Yep.
die, and that was the Confederates, I believe, that had the initial
No,
initiative,
no, it
so
was
they
the
get a
Union.
+1.
It was the Union.
Oh, it was the Union?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay.
That enabled
Yeah,
me
yeah.
to jump onto the farm.
Yeah.
So yes, in fact, I activated completely my whole set of activations before the Confederates had a chance to do anything. So yes, so +1 to me. Yay!
No.
Game
Oh.
winning. Uh, so let's roll.
Go on, you go first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Wait.
no, you.
That's a 3. That's
All
not a
right,
good
here we
roll.
go.
Should
Good
be able to do
chance.
better than that. Yeah.
Oh,
Oh, look at that. Well, see, I think was it last run through we had of this. I was rolling 1s and you were rolling 8, so we got 2 and 7. So we're slowly diverging. Slowly, we'll get there. Maybe turn 3 or something. I'll be able to roll better than you. But okay, so that's Confederate initiative. Well, there you go. Good stuff. So we now determine our chain of command. Now we don't have any army or corps commanders. We've just got our division commanders, and so we need to make sure that our subunits, starting at the division commander and going downwards, are all in command within command range, which is that little number in the black circle.
right, 5 for me for Ramsar, yeah.
Yes, and it's movement. It's leader movement points, not hexes.
Yes. Right.
And they're mostly
Indeed.
1, except for roads are half, and what's the other one? Is it woods? Something. Yeah, woods are 2. Okay.
Poop. So I'm trying to send my spokes out, as it were, to Johnson and Vaughan and Lilly and Jackson. Yeah.
Yes. So you can obviously talk to Lily because you're close by. Where are you going to take them
Johnson
out
and
of
Lilly are no problem. Vaughn, though, I think is going to be out.
He's the one. Yes, I can't even get to him on the road. So no.
Yeah. So he's kind of out
All
of
the others
command.
are.
Okay.
As you can see, I've marked him out of command there.
Oh, brilliant! Thank you. Oh, yeah. There's a little thing. That's slight aesthetic there. It's a little small for my eyes, anyway.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I see it. Crikey,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
is yes. I gotcha.
Stiglr for the details, and this
He's
is a
got,
detail.
yeah, he's got all the special buttons there. He's like James
I know.
Bond, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes. No Union player, I expect you to die.
Yes.
Right. And I just think, should Lily be out of reserve by now? I thought you take reserve you come out of reserve at the end of a turn, do you not?
Yes, I believe you
Yeah.
do.
So that reserve status of Lily, unless you want to keep him into reserve, but there's absolutely no point in you doing it.
Fatigue 0. Does that fatigue 0 has to stay, doesn't it?
Yeah, you can't. You don't get better than 0. I think once you'll be on there. But it takes away the impact.
Oh no,
anyway.
you can get back to okay or
get-
to no.
Oh really? Can you? Okay.
Yeah.
I've probably got BCS.
If the
in my
game's long
mind.
enough.
Yeah,
of course.
I'm doing some recordings on BCS at the moment, and they've got a fatigue system which you go so far and you can't go back up. So yeah, I probably wrong game alert.
Oh right, you can't. So that's weird. You can't go once you're down in battalion combat series. You can't go back up again. I know.
Yeah, so you start off on fresh. Once you come off fresh, you're on fatigue 0, and you can never go back to fresh. And
Whereas
then
this
you
one
can go
is
1,
red.
2, 3, 4 underneath, and then you can get back to 0, but you can never get back to fresh. So yeah, it's.
How do I get rid of this little thingy in what do they call it, in reserve, brigade in reserve?
Just delete it. I
Click
think.
on just the counter and delete it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I did it for you.
Oh, thanks.
That's
See,
sophisticated.
Not a problem.
It's
my
a-
only moment is that I'm too left feet with this, as it were.
You get used to it.
Yeah.
We've got-
I have an advantage because I developed it, so I know where all the bodies are buried.
Well, I should hope so.
We've got Patrick and Wardrobe in the chat. So,
Hi, Patrick. Morgan.
yeah, so more more aristocracy of YouTube here coming
See,
in.
they come and join when
Absolutely.
they know we've got somebody important here.
Yeah, not me. They never
No,
join for me.
no, of course it's not you. It's not me.
Not you? Oh, I thought it was all you. That's why you're here. That's why I invited you on to play some games here. Oh, my God, I've got to suck some of his followers over to me. It's all an evil plan. Right, back to where we were. So we've sorted out on the Confederate side. On the Union side, I think we're pretty much all right because Averill's got a very good 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 to Powell. And everybody else is in the open fairly close by. So yeah, we've got no problems with on the Union side.
Well,
so
hang on a second. Hang on a second. Let me do show hide there. 1, 2. Ooh. No, Powell might. Those woods might be putting Powell out of command too.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. If you
1, 2, 3,
go
4, 5, 6.
1, 2, 4, that would be 6, and his
is
rating is a 6. Okay,
6,
he's
yeah.
in.
No,
He's good.
Yeah. That's all. I can't count.
I thought it was a 5 for a second there.
No. That's Ramzo. He's rubbish. Honest. Yeah. So now we do the efficiency determination. So that's those little chits with numbers on. So we pick one of those and put them on our EMs and AMs chart.
Right.
Hold on.
According to what the scenario tells you that you get.
Yes. So I think.
What's the mix?
I think it's 2 3s and 2 2s for the. You should have the counters already there because we used them last turn, I think.
Right. So 2 3s and 2 4s for the Union, and 2 2s and
2 3s.
2 3s for Confederates.
Yeah. So.
So we go to the chit poll thing, and we go to the EMs and AMs, and you do this one at a time, basically, so that you don't
we go to the chit pool. I've got my chits over on my display, the OOB display, so I'm just going to bring them in onto the chit pools area.
And just drag them into the hat.
So I'll do mine first, and I will pull one out, and I'll put it back on my display, and I'll take the other ones and take them all away.
Right.
You don't need to see those.
Now keep in mind that I don't know if you're going to reveal them now just for the sake of people who are watching, but ordinarily you do this in secret.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Well, I mean, I can reveal mine because Rough will have a rough old time trying to do that, but I can turn mine over, and that's mine. Rough, don't look. Close your ears.
I'm not looking. It's all right.
So that's me done, and now it's the Confederacy turn. So if you drag
so what do I do?
So on your OOB, you should have the 4 markers on there. They got it says Confederate efficiency, and then there's a number. You should have 4. Is there one on the chart? The one on Rams's.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's on a unit. Yeah.
Yeah. So those 4 you bring in. Make sure you mask them so they got the question mark side on.
Mask. There we go. Right.
Yeah.
Oh, we keep these, do we?
No.
You drag them into the chit pool display.
Yeah, the chit pool display, which is
in the efficiency pool.
The big blue question mark button.
Gotcha. Okay. So just
drag them in and then put them in the efficiency pool, that little box there, and they'll stack as a sort of randomizer.
Gotcha. Yeah.
Yeah, you have to stack them in there.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
There we go.
Okay.
Right. Okay. There you go.
Now you can drag one of those out and put them on your OOB, back to where you got them from, your order of battle, and that's
just take one.
and put that on Rams's display. I think it's probably not Ramses, is it? It's the Army of the Valley display, whoever it is, whoever his commander is. But you stick it on the efficiency box.
You got it early.
Yeah.
Early,
Right?
that's right.
And
Yeah.
then take a peek at it.
Yeah, you can look
Go
at
on.
it. Yeah, I won't look at it.
Don't you look now?
Yes.
Right.
I can't see it anyway. So.
Okay.
Right.
Well, I mean,
okay.
I suppose I could open the window, but
So
and
now,
you drag
now
your,
that
drag your three that are in the hat, drag those three out and stick them back on your card somewhere.
Back where they were. Yeah.
So they're
hold on.
empty. Like to be nice and neat.
So, there we go.
So we know where all four are at any one time.
Yeah.
They're either in the efficiency or they're on your sheet. Okay, and so that's the efficiency determination. And then we decide division orders. So
now, hang on.
Hang on. We needed to just check about individual units from their brigade leaders, see if they're out of command as well, don't we?
So in other words, now that each of you know what your efficiency is, and you know what that number is, that's the base that you will apply to all of the divisions or sometimes brigades that are under you.
Yeah.
So any unit that is deemed to be out of command will have one fewer than whatever your number is. So in other words, for the Confederates, Vaughn
will have one less yet.
Would have one less if Vaughn isn't considered. Oh yeah. Vaughn is considered to be part of the same division. It's all just one division.
Yeah.
So he will have to sit out one, and he'll have to choose one of the activations to sit out. If he had his own formation, then you would put one fewer chit into the hat. But for this scenario, it's all small. It's one division versus one division, and everybody is subordinate to that one division. So, let's see. The Union has initiative. So
no,
they also
Confederates do.
Oh, Confederates do.
Yep,
okay,
yep,
so the
yep,
Confederates have initiative, so they will pick the number of chits that has to do with their efficiency and drag them into the activation pool -1 because they have initiative. They get to play the first initiative. Right, so you put one fewer in the hat so that you don't have to chance drawing it out again.
You keep one out,
right.
Yep.
The other person who doesn't have initiative figures out, figures out the full value of efficiency for each of his subordinate units. In this case, it's very simple; it's only one of them, and drags that number of activation chits or AMs into the activation pool. Yep. So in the end, there will be both Union and Confederate activation markers in the activation pool.
Hold on, hold on.
So the activation chits are on the board. So they're the little 2AV bright red things.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what we.
Right.
So I will put all of mine in that are relevant number into the activation pool, and you put in 1 minus.
So
number.
I leave one out onto the field.
Put one in the in-play space on the chit poll.
Yeah, we were just putting it on the board so that people could see it, but yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that'll work too.
It's just good for the feed, but yeah, just stick one.
I've stuck that one there. That's my one, and then whatever my number was, I stick in the hat.
Minus one.
Right.
Yeah, one less because you just stuck one in on the board.
Well. So
if you were a 2, you'd put 1 in the pool. If you did a 3, then you'd put 2 in the pool because you're using 1 already. Yeah. So you had a total of 2 or 3.
My hold on. Let's see if I got this right. This efficiency number.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is the total amount of chits in the hat.
For you, yes.
So, if I've only got, let's say, for instance, and I'm asking for a friend that say my efficiency was 2.
Yes.
I'm only going to have an efficiency of 1, and that 1 is the one out on the field there.
Well, you have an
No.
efficiency of 2, but you'll only put 1 in the hat because
Right.
you've effectively drawn the first chit, and it happens to be yours because you have the initiative. So you get the free pick out of the hat. So you don't bother putting it in. You just say, right, it's the first chit.
So what's this -1 then?
Well, you put 1 less chit in because you're putting 1 on the board.
Oh, right. It's nothing to do with being out of command.
No.
Oh, right.
The out of command thing with Vaughn is when you're activated, you need to make a choice. One of your activations, he's not going to do anything, and you have to choose which one when it gets pulled out. You say, right, Vaughn, because he's out of command, won't do anything this activation when you pull
I
the
think
chit.
I've got too many chits in the hat. You see, it goes wrong already. Because I thought,
hang on. I can fix that.
pull mine back out on me thing.
No, you're good. You're good. Yeah, you're good.
Right.
You got a good number.
You're good.
Good. Right. Okay.
Thank you.
Right.
We've got there.
So
we're there.
Do you understand why you left 1 out of the hat? It's because you have initiative. So basically that means that one has been drawn for you. You get to choose who that is.
The thing that was confusing me was the -1.
Yes.
Right. So yeah, I'm okay. Yeah, I think I've got it now.
Okay.
I'm talking to a child. I do apologise, gents. Right.
Oh, no, that's all right.
It's all right.
It takes a while to get used to. Yeah.
I'm used to it.
All right.
Yeah.
So now you do orders.
Yeah. So this is where you have these order choices: advance, attack, march, reserve, or there's open order as well, which is available in 1864. So I think we're kind of a bit too close for open order.
Or actually, let me see, open order. Open order, I think, is more like a formation or a movement condition. It's not orders. So
that's
the
true.
orders
You don't
that
set
you
it
have,
now. Yeah. You do it per unit,
attack,
don't you? You do it per unit.
Attack or advance.
Yeah.
Because we're not using march.
Yeah.
You wouldn't use march in here.
Everybody's
And the only caveat is that Vaughn, because he is out of command, does not get to freely change his orders at the top of the hour like everyone else. He has to roll for it on the fly.
Yeah. So he's currently on advance because we haven't got a chit sitting there. A little flag that's stuck on him. So he's on advance orders, and so he'll stay on advance orders, and you have to do the brigade orders change during an activation. That little table to roll to see if he can change to what you want him to do. But everybody else is free to change as they like. So
so they're advancing. Is Vaughn? What can we do with advance? We can charge.
So full movement. You can move or fire, with the exception of sharpshooters, who can seem to be able to do both. I think.
Yeah.
You can't go adjacent and you can't shock. You get full movement.
You can't charge.
You can't charge.
Because that's in effect.
That's attack. That's a different order.
Yes.
Attack is half movement. You can move. You could fire and you could shock, but you only get half movement.
But they're on horses. They don't have any weapons.
So you can
they
shock
have sabers,
then.
But
you can shock then. Yeah. So you still need to attack to be able to move adjacent and then shock, which is all they can do.
So I need to change orders.
Yeah, you can roll for it as soon as you're done with the order change and you move into your first activation.
Yeah. But
then you can roll for him. But
at this point,
everybody
for people,
else, you got to make sure.
Yeah, if at this point everybody who's in command can be ordered to change, and it'll be automatic. So you can say, right, he's going to do this, he's going to do that, and off you go, kind of thing. So,
Yep.
so for example,
Okay.
here I'm going to change. I think it's Schoonmaker his name. So I'm going to change him to attack orders.
Oh, hang on. One other thing I saw
Mm-hmm.
is that Jackson on the other wing is also out of command from
Oh, that's true.
Ramsar.
Was it 1, 2, 3, 4,
So I
5?
will.
Yeah,
Hold
he's
on.
out of command
1,
as well.
2, 3, 4, 5. Only just, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
So you'll have to roll
what-
for him as well.
Also, I believe the 20th Virginia, which is his unit, which declined to charge, is out of command to Jackson.
Yes, he is.
It's only 3, isn't it?
Yeah, he's only 3, and he's
So
5
he's
away,
out
so
of command.
as well.
But the penalty is going to be the same, is that he gets 1 fewer activation. Even if you're out of command multiple ways down the chain, the effect is never more than -1, unless there's a special rule.
And you always get to You always get to do 1 activation. You'll never get 0.
Yes,
I believe as well.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. There are a few where you can have 0. I think first bull run, but that's neither here nor there for this scenario.
So I'm changing Schoonmaker to attack. Duval. Suppose he might as well be attack as well. Don't really need to move very far.
No.
Powell. Powell, interesting. No, I think I'll keep with him in advance. I think.
Okay.
Keep the movement going. I think. So that's my side done. That's the 3 Duval, Schoonmaker, and Powell are my 3 leaders. So I've sent my orders out. So on
Jackson.
your side, so Jackson, you can't change.
No, well,
at the
I
moment.
don't think I need to, really, do I?
Yeah, but you can't. So he's out of command, so you can't tell him to do something right now. All you can do is during an activation, roll to see if he can change. Okay, so you ignore Jackson and Vaughan at the moment,
right?
Because they will stick on what they have at the moment because you're out. They're too far away for you to tell them what to do.
Right. Okay.
So it's just Johnston, Lewis.
Now. Right. So we've got Johnston. They're attacking. They can move. They can't. Can you move adjacent attacking?
Yes.
Yes.
You have to.
Right.
You have to attack to move adjacent. Yes.
So they're fine.
Yep.
We've got
Lewis.
Lily.
Lily. Yeah.
Where's Lewis?
Lewis is on the farm.
He's still attacking, so we're going to keep him as
Okay.
that then. Lily needs to move up.
So it's probably advanced then is probably his order, which means you don't mark it.
Right, that's the default one. Okay.
Yep. Good.
Then we've got Gun Lewis. So it's just the 2 out of command.
Just ignore them. You just ignore them for the moment because you can't tell them what to do. They have to come up with their ideas themselves as part of a dice roll during the turn.
Well,
Sorry?
That's it then, yeah?
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Yeah.
So there aren't any reinforcement orders. Nobody's placing anything into reserve. The very idea. There's no engineering. So we're on to the activation segment, which is the main thing of what we do here. And you go first with your activation. You've got your activation chit on the board. And off you go.
Just get me sequence of play, yeah. Right.
So you decide. So you've got that chit. Ramsar is activated. Now he then activates. Well, first thing you do is, do you want to change any? Yeah. Do you want to? That's right. You pick a brigade. You decide whether you want to change. That's going to activate this turn. So it might not be Vaughan or might not be Jackson.
Right.
You then decide, do you want to change his orders? And you go through the process with the dice roll to see if he can change to an order that you like or maybe an order you don't like. Then you decide whether that brigade wants to coordinate with another brigade so that they move together in the same as if they were one big brigade.
Yeah.
And then you move everything and fire and do your stuff. So, so nominate a brigade first in
We'll have
Rams's
Lewis.
division. Okay, you start with Lewis. Yes.
They're on attack. We'll keep them attack.
Keep an attack. Do you want to coordinate them with anybody?
Not really.
Okay.
No.
So that's all the decisions done.
Also keep in mind that any brigade that is going to attempt to change their own orders, all of those decisions have to be made before you activate anything. So both coordination and orders changes have to be committed to before you roll for them and before you start activation. And then you have to live with the results.
Okay. So, for instance, Vaughan, I would have to tell you if I'm going to change their orders before I get to them.
Yes.
So they're just moving at the moment.
Yeah, they're on advance. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, advance. 1, 2, 3. It's half movement for attack, isn't it?
Yes.
Yep.
Well, I want to change. I'll say I want to change them to attack.
Okay.
Okay.
When I get to them.
So
Yeah.
we go to the change brigade orders change table.
We don't have to do it yet, do we? I've just nominated that I'm going to change their orders. Is that right?
I think
I don't have to.
Yeah.
I don't have to do them now, but I've told everybody that when I get to them, they're going to try and change their orders to attack.
Oh, okay. Right.
Is that right?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
you could do it that way, yeah.
Okay.
But no, actually, no. You have to figure out which of your brigades you're going to attempt to change orders for.
Yeah.
And any that are going to try to coordinate, and you roll for the results of that before you move anything.
Right.
Okay.
So
In other words,
Right,
if you're planning, say, you wanted to have both of your cavalry wings under attack to do your master plan, and both of them need to change their orders, you have to commit to both and then see what happens. And it may end up that like one goes to attack, the other doesn't. You have to live with that, and you can't go back.
right.
So that's why you have to commit to everything at once.
I've got to roll for Vaughan now, even though.
Yes.
Right. Gotcha.
Yes.
Yes. So
And he gets. I don't believe he gets.
yeah. So if
Any
Ramsar was stacked with him, he'd get a bonus.
Yeah.
If people above Ramsar, the corps and army overall commander were stacked with him, you get a bonus. None of those apply. And then you look at his orders rating. The orders rating is that little white box in the bottom right-hand corner of the counter, which is a 0. So it's just a straight roll. So 1d10. And you kind of want high. You want high.
I want high. Yes. Okay.
Yeah.
That's high.
No, that's
No, that's low.
unfortunately.
So that's retain
You
and
got
stand.
the worst possible thing. Yeah.
No, that's retain and stand.
So yes, so he doesn't change orders, and he's so confused he doesn't do anything at all. This activation, he just sits there.
Sits there twiddling his thumbs.
Yeah, he's paralysed effectively for the activation. He just goes.
Now, if your units had if they had ranged weapons, they could fire. They could still fire, but that's all you can do.
Well, like the sharpshooter. Or is that?
That's not under Vaughan, though. We're talking about Vaughan
no, that's
here.
under Lewis. Beg your pardon.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah.
Right.
So I think the way you read it is Vaughan's waiting for orders and they didn't arrive, so he doesn't now know what to do.
Right.
So he's just kind of dithering and going, well, I don't know.
Just wait here.
I'll wait for the orders still, kind of thing. That's kind of, I suppose, what it represents. Anyway, okay, you're not changing orders on anybody else, though, are you? I don't think you need to, really.
Nope.
Anyway,
No.
No.
Just,
So activate your brigade.
Okay. We'll activate Lewis.
Okay. So he's the dark greens. So he's in the farm. He's also got a couple of regiments just outside the woods, which are
We've got
disordered,
sharpshoot-
and the sharpshooters.
Yeah. Okay. So let me have a little look on the. What have they got? They've got rifled muskets. They are 1, 2, 3 away. That's a -2.
But they get a +2 for being sharpshooters.
Right. They're just disordered. Okay, we'll fire at. That's a shame.
14th West Virginia.
Yeah.
That's the only guy who's reasonably in range. You could fire at.
I could fire at Powell and
yeah,
you know,
the 2nd West Virginia at Powell. Yes, you could. No, you couldn't. You're not. It's not in your front arc. So your front arc is two hexes in front of you.
Yeah. Okay. So the 14th.
You would have to pivot. You can pivot if you want, but
yeah, you can get a free pivot.
Yeah.
Well, that might be good because then it'll open up for other things. So we're counterclockwise. And again.
Yeah, always a hex spine. That's it. Now you can fire at Powell and the 2nd West Virginia.
Can I? Can I fire at the 2nd West Virginias?
Yeah. Why not?
Sorry, the 14th.
Not the 14th. No.
No.
You said you wanted to fire at the 2nd.
Right. Yeah, I'm going to fire at the 2nd. So that's a -2 +2 because they're sharpies.
Yes. I'm in the woods, which is a -1.
Right.
You don't get anything for downwards fire, 'cause that's only artillery.
Right.
You are part of a brigade which is on fatigue. I thought you were on fatigue 2.
No, that's
Lewis. Lewis should be on fatigue 2.
Johnston's on fatigue 1.
Yeah, Lewis should be on fatigue 2 because you did 2 shocks last time.
Oh, so he needs changing to 2, yeah?
Yeah, that should be up to 2. That doesn't make any difference because you count half the fatigue rounded up. So 2 is as bad as 1.
Lovely, thank you.
So that fatigue 2 gives you another -1.
So a -2.
Yeah. So you're on a 2 -2 at the moment.
Right. Okay.
So that's
Hang
woods,
on a second.
fatigue.
Let's see the sharpshooters have a +2 because they're sharpshooters.
Yes.
But let's see the range 1, 2, 3
Yes.
with rifles.
Is a -2.
So -2.
Yeah.
And then the fatigue adds another one -3, and then the woods adds another one.
Yeah. So it's -4 +2.
And
which is
are
-2.
they mounted or
No.
dismounted?
They're dismounted.
They're
Just-
dismounted. So -4. Ugh.
+2 for being sharpshooters, though. So it's a
Sharpshooter.
-2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So
It was
-2.
let's go through it. It's +2 for being sharpshooters, but it's -2 for you being in the woods, so that's 0.
No. -2 for the distance for rifles. The range.
So that's 0 then.
Is that 0?
Right.
Then you've got -1 for woods.
And -1 for
One
fatigue.
Right. So that's -2. Right.
Yep.
So
Okay, here we go.
On the 2 chart, minus
Oh, boy.
5. 5 is... Oh, well, firstly, they're low on ammunition.
Let's
Because
pick
it's
stars
a...
around the number 5.
Yeah, and it's a D
Yep.
-2 on me. So I am a 6.
And that's the D -3 because Powell is there.
Yeah,
So they can't fail.
Powell's star adds, so -3. So
Hold
yeah,
on.
I can't fail, that's true.
Hold
So if I
on,
roll a
it's-
9,
it's
it'll be
5.
6.
I've got 5, haven't I?
Yeah, you got a 5, which is a D -2 for 2. So
Lot of small arms.
Yeah.
Why am I looking at something different then?
Small arms,
Wrong game
2
again.
strength points.
Oh, gotcha. That's what was confused me.
Yeah,
Right,
two
thank you, chaps. Right. Yep. I'm
You got
looking at what I found on the table. It's not. It's the strength points, isn't it? Sorry.
Yes.
And now you have, oh boy.
Yeah, so I can't fail because it's if I roll a 9, -2 is a 7,
It's actually
and then I've
-2.
got Powell, which has a star, and he adds another -1, so that becomes a 6, which means it automatically passes. So they can't fail that shot.
Right. Okey-doke.
And now you have a -2 for being low on ammo. Now from now on, until you clear
Fantastic.
that. Next unit.
I think I'll have a pivot round, if I may, on the 6th and 57th
North Carolina, yep.
North Carolina.
Now, keep in mind that because those units are disordered,
Yeah.
even though they're under attack orders, they can't move adjacent.
So we're just going to fire there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oops.
Yeah. One more.
That's the one. Right.
There we go.
Okay.
So we're firing at this chap here, the
14th
West Virginians.
Yes.
I've got 7 points.
Well, it's
firing.
You got 3 and a 1.
I've damaged, so that's 4 points firing out.
No, you do it individually.
You have to do. Yep.
So it's one shot with 3 and one shot with 1. Yeah.
This from last week. Yeah.
Yeah. You get a +1 for the range for rifle musket.
Yeah, that's 2 away +1. Yeah.
You get -1 because you're disordered.
So that's 0.
You get -1 for the fatigue. And then you get -1 for the woods.
So it's -2.
Yep.
Yep. So it's a 3 minus
right,
2.
okay, -2. Here we go.
Yeah.
So
Don't roll another 7.
No, I'll roll better than that. There's 1. Look at that.
That's
No effect.
No effect. That's the first one you've rolled, I think.
Are the West Virginians going to fire back?
Oh yes, return fire. Why not?
Yeah.
Nobody else is likely to fire at them, so yes. So we have. Are they still full strength? They are 7. So I've got 7 strength points. We are disordered. It's a -1. It's range of 2, so it's a +1 for rifles. So they cancel each other out. I don't think there's anything else to modify, so it's a straight roll on the 6 to 8 table. And 6 North Carolina to take the brunt of it because they're on top of the stack. So let's roll a 5. That's low ammo. Brilliant. That's a D+1.
You guys are very wasteful.
I know.
It's terrible.
These dice. Can we get some vassal gravity dice?
Shouldn't it be a -2 for ammo
Yeah.
depletion? Okay.
This is a slightly older module, and the progression for ammo depletion is changed. It used to be -1, then -2, then -3, then out, and it was changed with this release to be -2 and out.
Yep, simplified. Yep, okay. But anyway, it's still a D+1 for the 6th North Carolina. So they're on a 6.
Right.
You need to roll against that, but you add +1 to the dice.
For fatigue.
Oh, does fatigue affect a morale check? Oh, okay. Cool,
Yep.
okay. So
you
-2,
don't add
plus
it because
2.
they're disordered, because that's
No.
reflected on the counter
counter.
itself.
But fatigue.
So you
actually
passed with a 5. You
No,
just
I
passed.
rolled the 5.
Oh,
hasn't,
I'm sorry.
Rough hasn't
So Rough has
hasn't
to
rolled
roll.
yet.
Go ahead.
Oh,
With a +2 on the dice.
+2.
For the effect on the 6th North Carolina.
Oh, sorry.
So
What's,
I was low on ammo, but it was a D+1 result.
Yep.
Plus you're fatigued, so it's effectively a D+2.
So it's a 6. Is that what it is?
Yep.
Yeah, 6
Six.
is your number, so that's
we go.
fine.
Yay.
Very good.
40.
You passed.
No problem. Okay.
Okay.
Now
Now the 1 strength point unit.
Is going to
he
have a
gets a
go.
5. Yes.
Don't hold up much hope. So again, we've got rifles. So that is a +1.
Yep. -1 for disordered.
That's 0.
-1 for fatigue.
-1.
-1 for woods.
Woods.
So it's still a -2 again.
-2. Come
on
on,
the
boys.
1 chart.
On the 1. Oh, we need it. Oh, don't throw
Get
it
a
far.
9. Get a 9.
Flip.
Nope.
No, 2.
No.
Nothing.
Wow.
These
Nothing.
dice, Stig, I don't like them.
Neither do I. That's the biggest problem I have with Vassal overall is the die roller.
Yes. You get some crazy sequences.
Seems like every month I have these fracases with the design team on whether they actually are random. And
Yeah.
I never get very far, but I hate them.
Yeah, no, I think, you're not the only one, are you? So no luck there. Right. Actually, we're in the farm, aren't we?
Lewis's guys, yes.
Disordered.
They've taken a bit of a beating.
They have.
Now, if I might
Yeah.
expound on some things that might be considered subtleties
Yeah.
that might influence your decisions. Okay. For one, both of your units are disordered already, right?
Yeah.
So that means if they take any casualties, they're probably going to be they're going to have to retreat, and because they're disordered, they will not be able to move adjacent until they cure the disorder.
All right.
That being said, because they are already in fact adjacent, they can still shock. Okay, they can. Ordinarily, like you with your 6th North Carolina, if he had wanted to move up there to attack those units in the woods, they couldn't do it because they're disordered.
Okay.
But the units under Lewis are already adjacent, so they could shock. So I would think I would put a lot of stock in, if you're going to carry through the attack, to not fire and rather just shock. And the reason why that is you're still going to have to undergo defensive fire from Duval's unit, the 91st Ohio.
Yeah.
Yep.
So there's nothing you can do about that. However, the other unit that you would also have to attack, the collapsed one next door, the 34th Ohio, he's collapsed. So if you force them to make a pre-shock check, and also because Duval is under attack orders, he does not have the option to retreat before shock. Because he's under attack footing, so he's up for it too. So they don't have that option. So it seems to me your best option for Lewis, you've got 5 total strength points against 6 and 2 against 8. So you don't even have an even odds attack. But all of Duval's units are going to have to roll for their pre-shock cohesion check. If one or more of them fails it and routes, that's going to help your odds, and it also might make the entire salient, with good high die rolls on the Union's part, they could all fail and rout, and all of those units could just be gone. So those are your options. And the other extenuating circumstances is that Lewis is on a 2 fatigue. Yeah. So, I would think a shock would probably be your best option.
Yeah. I remember you talked about this last week, I think, briefly. Don't always fire, go to shock. It's sometimes better to do that.
Yeah, so you avoid the return fire.
Right.
Okay, well, we'll do...
but not the defensive fire. That's the thing you can't get away from.
Yep.
And as we found out last week, units that are adjacent to units being shocked can participate in that fire, which I didn't know at the time, but it makes sense.
Yeah.
But now you're facing both of them, so it doesn't matter. You're going to take defensive fire from that 6th strength point.
Right, so I'm shocking. Which ones am I going to shock?
You have to shock them both.
Oh,
You have every unit that is in the frontal zone of a unit in that brigade that is activated has to be accounted for. So one of the units that has it in its forward hexes has to be shocked by somebody. Now Lewis's stack is the only one that's there, so then he has to shock both of them
okay. Should we do that?
combined.
Talk me through that then.
Okay.
Shock.
All right.
Lots of
So-
stuff there to do.
All right. Ordinarily, the first thing that happens is the defender makes the choice of whether to retreat before shock. But because Duval is under attack orders, they don't have that option.
Right. Yep.
So there's that phase gone.
Mhm.
The second one is the pre-shock cohesion check, and this is the one that holds the most hope for you. So he's got to roll a UDD
Yep.
for each stack.
Yep.
So both of those units, he can do it in the order that he desires, and the one with 6 strength points will get an additional -1
For
to
Duval.
their roll because of Duval.
Yeah.
But each of them will also get a +1, is it? Because they are disorganized? Because it used to be a
Yeah.
+2.
No. No, I mean it's
Shock
against
on the back.
It's oh yeah, defenders pre-shock. Yeah,
Pre-shock.
There's an extra
Yeah,
plus
+1
one.
for being disordered.
Yeah,
Um,
and there's a
Okay,
plus
so-
1 for 34th Ohio because you're hitting them in the flank.
yes,
Yeah.
Oh, right.
right.
Okay.
So,
So
you
we'll
do
do
it
the-
in the order that the Union
Yeah.
wants.
So we'll do it with 34th Ohio first. So we'll roll dice.
34th
Hoping for low.
Ohio. Yep.
3
3,
plus 1 for disordered,
4,
+1 for flank.
5.
And he's a
Wow, they
6.
passed.
They passed.
Oh, right. Okay.
Okay.
And then the 91st Ohio, a 5 plus 1 for disordered, -1 for Duval. They passed.
Oh, for goodness sake.
Yeah, that's not good.
Mm.
Great calculation, by the way. You did that like a pro.
Oh. Whoa.
You got all of them.
Whoa. Shh. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Right.
Now-
so now
Now
the
that
bad
that
news.
is gone, what's the next one?
It's the pre-shock reaction fire.
Yep.
Where the heck's that?
So
That's where you eat a faceful of carbine fire
Right.
or
Is there
rifle fire.
yes. So the 91st Ohio is going to fire. They have
Yep.
6 points. And they are at 1 hex range, which is a +1.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure there's
-1
for disorder,
Yes.
and so it's a straight roll.
A-
I think that's it, isn't it?
Yep, and you don't get prepared fire because
No,
you're
so it's
disordered.
Yeah.
Right. So
So it's a straight roll
straight up.
on the 6-8 table. 3.
3.
Come on.
Oh, that's
Ooh.
That's a
survivable.
D.
Okay. So you get a straight D, but let's see. Okay. You get -1 because the Brigadier Lewis is there.
Yep.
Yeah.
You get a -1 for half of the fatigue. And
+1, Shane.
that's yeah, you're right. +1.
Yep.
So that all cancels out. So it's a straight up roll, and it's only the top unit that has to take that. So 6 or better, or 6 or less, and you
Or
pass.
Yes, 6 or less. Here we go. I'm normally good at that. 4.
Yep.
Yeah, you passed. Okay.
Okay.
Wow.
Get in.
I
Yeah.
know he just doesn't. It's,
Right.
yeah. Okay. So the
The other
34th
unit,
Ohio.
you're in his flank, so he doesn't get to fire.
No. So that's.
So now we go to the end resolution.
Yes.
And here we have Lewis has a total of 5 against 6, 8. So that's 1 to 1.5, which will be a negative
Yes.
1, I
-1.
believe. Yes.
Yep.
So you get a -1 for that.
Mm-hmm. The
Let's
defender
see.
is disordered, but the
Defender,
attacker is
but so is
disordered,
the attacker.
so
Yeah,
they
that's a
cancel out.
wash.
Um,
And because you're attacking both of them, you don't get the shock benefit because the defender gets the advantage of the best
yeah.
best terrain and best position in a
Mm,
multi-hex attack.
yeah.
So
Right.
it's straight up and a -2 because fatigue also
Fatigue, of
factors
course.
in.
Yeah. So -2. It's a D10
So it's a
-2.
-2 on the shock resolution table.
Off you
Where's
go.
that? Where's that? Let's have a look.
So you want high, of course.
I'm just
Yeah,
looking.
you want
-2.
high.
There's a resolution table. I can't find it. Anyway, let's roll.
It's on the
shock
it's the
is on the
back of the player's aid card. All the adjustments and the
Top
shock
left.
resolution there.
Oh, gotcha. Right,
Yep.
thank you. Here we go.
Mhm.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
That's
Standoff. Both
standoff,
sides
both
are
are
disordered.
disordered.
Wow, this is going to be fun.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. So both sides are disordered,
We already are, aren't we?
and
Yeah.
both sides are already disordered, so they're going to be second disorder rolls.
Yes.
Right.
So we'll start with. Well, it actually doesn't matter which
No.
order that you do it in, but start with a union and
Yep.
make further UDDs.
Yeah. So this is shock table result. Roll UDD. If
Gotcha.
you pass, you lose a strength point and retreat. If you fail, you rout. So we'll start with the
Right.
91st Ohio.
Okay.
3.
They pass.
They pass. They lose a strength point.
All right.
Mhm.
We have to go up. And
I apologize for not setting these strength point counters to go both ways.
Yeah,
I
so
realize that.
we get there
It's
eventually.
a bit of an oversight.
Okay.
There
5
we go.
strength points.
5.
And retreat 1 or
Yeah.
2 hexes. So we'll retreat 1
Yep.
hex. So we'll retreat to. Oops. No. Everybody.
My
Everybody,
favourite.
please.
You're not going to retreat under Averill, who could help them rally?
Yeah, that's possibly a good idea, isn't it?
Okay.
Yeah, okay. We'll retreat under Averill.
Oh,
You convinced
okay.
me.
Okay, that's
Right.
good. And now roll for...
34th Ohio.
Yeah, this one is critical.
3.
3. I think he passes too.
Yeah.
Wow.
But he's only
But-
got 1 strength point left.
Yep, but he loses 1 to go to 1.
Yeah.
And because he's already collapsed, you have to make another UDD to see
Yes.
if that 1 strength point doesn't just rout.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, let's
roll
do
it
the roll
again.
before we do the markers. So 5.
You're okay.
I think it's alright.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
You got any minuses? No.
No,
No.
No. Right.
or no pluses. Yeah. Wow, that's a
so,
hardy unit.
Yeah, so I might bring a 1 out so I don't have to cycle the 2. Be here for bloody ever. Okay.
Oh, let's see now the battery there.
Hmm.
That's interesting. I didn't see that before, or I
Yeah.
assumed that they were already disordered, but
No,
they're
no.
not.
No.
A battery of up to 4 guns gets you 1 additional strength point. That would
Oh.
not have mattered in the
No.
overall calculation. So, but artillery cannot retreat. So they are considered abandoned / captured. So you can clone the abandoned marker if I can find it and clone it
There we go.
and move it there and go down.
It's a 1. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I don't know if you want to keep it straight up like that, but there
Yeah.
you go.
that's
And
fine.
then you've already retreated the 34th Ohio and reduced them, so great.
Yeah.
All right, now for Lewis.
Okay.
Right.
Your units have to do the same, but actually they only do it for the stack. Yes. So starting with the top unit has a 6 morale.
Yeah.
And fatigue of 1, which is countermanded by the Brigadier Lewis being there. So it's just a straight up roll.
6 or less.
Yep.
1.
Yeah, you pass.
Good-o.
All right.
Well,
This is bonk.
you still lose the strength point and retreat 2 hexes.
Oh,
1 or
yes,
2 hexes as well.
Right. Right.
Uh,
It's kind of like a coming together, and both sides decide to see the better of it.
Yeah.
Let me see. I think
So,
you can choose which unit takes the loss, and you would want to take it from the 54th North Carolina, because
they've got
if
3.
the 21st North Carolina takes a strength point loss, then they collapse, and then you have to roll another UDD.
So how do we get that down? Flipping it will...
yeah, you can't down flip, but you can only up flip, unfortunately. So you can take
Yeah.
another.
Oh, right. No, let me do this. Oh, that's... don't tell me it goes up to 137, though.
Yeah,
Yep.
well, so
Right.
I'm off to make a cup of tea while you do that.
Oh, what happened there?
No, don't worry.
now.
Don't. There we go. There we go.
So what
Yeah.
do I do? Flip that?
2 more.
There's
Keep going.
1 more, isn't it?
1 more, yeah.
Yeah. So you should be on 2. That's
There
it.
we go.
You're done.
There we go. Thank you, guys. Good.
And
Okay.
then retreat
1 or 2.
1 hex, 1 or 2. Yeah.
Is that the whole stack?
Yep.
Right. What have we got here? We've got... oh, there is an abandoned...
Leave that.
that.
Leave the artillery.
How do we do that, then? Without...
Oh, just
taking it-
here we go. You just
No.
selectively select them and move them back 1 hex.
Okay. Thank you. I'd have been here all day. Right.
Yep.
Okay.
And no facing change, obviously, because it's a retreat and you don't get to kind of control things. Now, the final thing is,
The second part of the
You've
bad
got-
news.
because both sides took a strength point loss and both sides have leaders, you roll to see if the leaders get killed. And that's just a single roll. If you roll a 0,
Yeah.
then the leader is killed.
So I rolled an 8.
And I go, 2.
Everybody's fine.
Hi, Robert.
And-
Welcome to the channel. Sorry, didn't see you pop in there. Sorry, carry on.
Hello, Robert.
Hi, Robert.
And the last step is post-shock disorder, and that only affects the attacker. So you've got to take an additional strength point loss for the entire stack, because post-shock disorder is an additional
Yeah.
An additional
Normally
point.
you disorder,
Not
but
a
as you're already
UDD.
disorder, you take a step
Right.
loss.
Right, I'm just going to move.
So that's going to collapse one of them.
Just moving that around a bit. Right, so let's have a look what we got.
Actually, this is the best way to do it, is to clone and borrow the 1 strength point from your opponent there.
Oi.
Get rid of that. Put that there on the bottom and rotate it there.
There's a seasoned
Okay.
hand there, isn't there? There's a seasoned hand.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
goes there, isn't
It
there?
was a blur. It was a blur.
Blur.
That would take me.
And
Does,
So that's it, no-
Right.
and
does
he
that
is
require a
collapsed.
Does
And
that
what does
require
that
a
mean?
UDD? Does it?
Yes, it does, because if the event that causes the collapse is a disorder
Yeah.
and not simply a strength point loss, then you have to make a one-time only collapse roll to see if the unit just decides
Melts.
to run at that point. Same as the 34th Ohio had to do.
Mm.
So that's a straight up 6, because fatigue, and offset by the brigadier. So roll one more time.
Have I got to do another roll? Right, 6 or less.
Yep.
7.
Oh, God.
Flip the neck.
All right.
Jeez.
So the effects on that are, this could get messy.
I don't like this game anymore.
So the 54th Carolina is going to rout. So take them out,
They're
and you
effectively off
won't
the
need
board
the
for
strength point. Yeah.
the
So
rest of the
he
game.
moves to the route box.
Where's that?
It's on your
That would
display,
be-
your order of battle display. But, I mean, it's just going to sit there for the rest of the game, really.
Yeah.
Right.
Where's
So
that?
I will move him
So
to
your
the
OOB display?
Yep, got it.
Yeah, so there's a box there saying routed units.
Oh,
Yep.
got it. Yeah, right.
or Ramsar actually. Yeah. There we
Yeah.
go.
Gotcha.
So he routes,
Okay.
and then because he routed, and because he is adjacent to other units that see them run,
Oh,
this starts what is called route rot. All those units that are adjacent have to make UDDs as well.
Mm.
So this can have a cascading effect. So so the unit they're stacked with also has to make a UDD.
Mm-hmm.
that's the 21st North Carolinas, yeah?
Yes.
On a as-is roll because of the -1/+1.
Right.
Yep.
Right. 6.
6. They're okay.
Fine.
Okay.
Right.
Now we move next door to either the artillery or to the 6th North Carolina.
Well, let's do the foot troops first. So we've got is that again now? There isn't any.
There's no
Just that's going to be -1, isn't it?
Or a
A +1.
plus
right.
one.
Yeah,
Yes.
+1 for the fatigue. Yeah.
Right. No, we're
He
fine.
passes. 57th underneath him.
That's
Same
the-
thing.
They're all 6s, aren't they? 7. No.
He fails. Roll again.
Oh, right. 7. No, I don't like this guy.
He routes. So he routes too.
And we will-
Now the
So-
6th North Carolina, seeing them route, does not have to do double jeopardy and roll again.
right.
Whenever
What-
you have like this route rot setting in, you only have to make one roll for the entire event. So 57th, unfortunately, joins his buddies in the route pile. I'll move them there.
Thank you.
Okay. And now the artillery.
The artillery.
They're pretty stout.
That's 7. That's nothing. Just is it a +1 on that?
No,
Are they?
they're not subject to
No.
they're not subject to fatigue.
Right. So 7. No.
Oh.
Gee.
No. So he
It's all
disorders,
going
and
wrong.
then the one under him,
Ah,
he's
that's all
fine.
0, isn't it? Yeah.
Yep. So he disorders.
Good grief.
Yeah. So now you've fully experienced the phenomenon known as route rot.
I don't like it, Stig. I don't like it.
But
Um,
but it could have gone the other way.
mm,
Yeah.
If, say, all the way back when you did your pre-shock cohesion check, say
Yeah.
that 34th Ohio, which was already collapsed, say that he routed, he could have taken both Duval's unit with him and the 1st West Virginia that was adjacent to him, and you could have rolled up the entire salient.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways.
Yeah. I mean, it's a devastating rule. For
Yes.
whoever it doesn't work for. So yeah, but I can understand it. You can see it in your mind. You know, they're running away. Oh, sod this! I'm off and all. Come on, let's go. So
Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
exactly what happens. It's a proximity thing, and that's why route is so devastating. Is because not only do you lose the troops that are routing, but others
Around
see
you.
what's going on, and it's like, maybe I better go too.
And you can
Run
get
away.
there.
All right.
You can get there basically on 2 checks, can't you? So you disorder one failure, and then the second one. Yeah, you could. You could melt away into just 2 dice rolls actually.
Yes.
Potentially.
And the nature of shock combat is that it is as messy in the rules and chaotic in the rules as it actually is. You really get a sense of how
Yes.
wild and woolly it is, and now you've got 2 sets of abandoned guns and troops that are just running away from the farm. The farm is now wide open for the next, for the highest bidder, the next person to go up.
Yeah.
It's just crazy.
Yeah.
All right.
So
Now
So-
Lewis is done.
Yes. You've finished Lewis' brigade, so next brigade.
would be Johnston, I suppose.
Okay.
Well, they got rifles. I'll remember these.
Yeah, they've all got rifles. You've either
So
got
let's
You've got either got rifles or nothing.
Hmm.
And you're
And
young.
I'll be right back. I got a quick bio break. I'll be right back.
Okay. So that's a +1 on their rifles. They are fatigued. So they'll get a -1 for that, won't they?
So once they fire, they can't move. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you wanted to move them, you need to move them first.
They're quite powerful. Let's have a look. They're quite powerful. 6, 3. What have we got here? 3. Let's see. Well, they're down to 5. So again, running up and shocking.
Yeah. And as you're moving, you could charge as well.
Oh, so not only horses can charge.
No, the infantry can charge. You get a +1 in your shot combat, but you can't fire as you're charging
so charge and shock, yeah?
in. Yes. You couldn't do it with Lewis because you started right next to me. The fact that you've got a gap here, you can now declare a charge.
What this artillery is
So the artillery are just guns sitting there with nobody there. So that's basically a blank hex.
No, my
Oh, your artillery. Yes.
Is that assigned to Johnston?
It could be. Yeah. I think it was. Yes.
Right. So I can fire on.
The only people you can really fire on would be the 34th Ohio.
I couldn't fire on. Is that a line of sight thing? The 1st West Virginians.
You'd have to twist. You'd have to change facing, and you get a negative modifier when you do that, I believe.
No, okay, we'll keep it as is. We'll go after the 34th Ohio. Right. So
okay. So you are. It's the guy underneath, isn't it? Is a Napoleon cannon. That's 3 hex range. For Napoleons is a +1. And you are firing down slope, which is a +1.
+1.
I think that's it.
Disordered, they get -1, don't they?
No, the guys on top aren't firing. So the Georgia Regiment C isn't firing. It's the guys underneath that are firing. Who, if you're disordered as an artillery and you can't fire,
right,
they've
gotcha.
got no value there. Yeah.
So
that's 4 points.
4. Is that on the artillery or small arms?
I believe it's now on artillery because you're 3 hexes away. I think it's
right.
1 and 2 hexes you use the small arms. I will check it, but I'm pretty sure that's the case.
Yep. So we're on the 4 to 5. What did we say? Any modifiers?
Who's firing?
No. It's 3 hexes is still small arms. It's 1, 2, or 3.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's still on the small arms table.
Firing this artillery, Stiglr, the Amherst artillery.
This one?
Yeah. No, the one underneath that.
No,
right.
It is. Yeah, it's underneath.
Well,
And you're firing at them, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's a 4 + 2, I believe. +1 for range, +1 for firing downwards.
Yeah. Okay.
So 4+2.
Hang on a second. You don't get the plunging fire for canister. You only get it for bombardment fire.
Oh, do you? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Okay.
So yeah, range of 3 is
getting
canister
that wrong then.
range, and you use the small arms table
Yes. Yeah, we're gonna
instead
do
of the
that.
artillery table to find your result.
Yeah.
Okay, so you rolled a 7, which is good. Small
Plus
arms
1.
fire, 4, plus 1.
It's
Did
an
you
8.
say? Yep.
Yeah. Which is
This
a
all.
D
D.
plus 2.
Is it? I
D.
think it's a
Oh,
D,
right.
isn't it?
Yes, a D. Just automatic
It's a
disorder.
capital D. It's automatic disorder. So
Because it's
Oh, okay.
7 plus 1.
So he
Wait a
fails.
second.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
Plus 1.
You ended up with a D or an 8. Okay,
Yes.
yeah. So that is a D.
Yeah.
Automatic disruption, and that unit is gone because they're already disordered, and they only have 1 strength point, so they're gone.
Yeah, from the fire table, you lose 1 strength point and retreat 1 or 2 hexes, so
Ooh, lovely.
they
Right.
cease to exist.
And I believe we also have adjacent units to a unit that gets vaporized. I think also have to make a UDD.
Yeah.
So that's the 1st West Virginians, yeah?
Yeah.
Yep.
So there are 5.
Uh-huh.
They just passed.
Yeah.
They don't have any pluses, right?
No.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yep. Ooh, that was close.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nice shot.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was happy with that. So we're now going to charge, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, that seems like the thing to do.
Into the
We only
1st Unions. So do we move them all adjacent, or do we have to allocate that they are charging or running across?
I think there's a
marker.
There's a marker, isn't there? Yeah.
Yep, that would be.
Oh, it's
with
not
obligatory
that
shot
one.
and yelling, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Now keep in mind that if you're going to use the infantry charge rule, all of the infantry involved in the shock have to be charging, which means they have to move at least 1 hex and they don't fire.
Right.
Yep.
So these would move. Hold on. That's going to be. How are we going to do the 5th North Carolinas and the one's underneath the 20th North Carolinas? Have they got to move and turn and go around the side? They're going to hit the flank.
Yeah, that would be very smart.
So they're going to go 1, 2. Now we have to. Do we get charged for turning?
No, you can charge. You can change 1 vertex per hex you enter for free, as long as you are not adjacent to an enemy. So in other words, what you would do is you would go to 2810. You would rotate to the left 1 vertex.
Right, let's move it back then. I've cocked it up completely. So we move there.
Yeah.
Right.
He's still
then
adjacent
rotate.
He's adjacent to my cavalry.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Let's see here.
Let me move it back. Let's start again and get rid of those. Let me just twiddle the bottom one round because that's putting me off.
Yeah.
No.
He's not going to be able to get on the flank.
No.
The unit on the left, though, will, because there's only abandoned artillery there.
Trying to get this one. Sorry, bear with me. Counterclockwise. There we go. Right. So, I think that was underneath that one. That's better.
Yep.
Right, there we go. I'm sorry, this is why it annoys me. There we go. Right.
Get the whole stack at once.
I know, I can't do it, Stiglr. It just drives me bonkers. But that's me. So, I can't do that because I'd have to stop because I'm going into like a zone of control. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
Yeah.
You cannot. Once you enter a enemy or move adjacent to an enemy unit,
Yep,
you
stop.
cannot then get that free vertex change.
Right, but I could move in the 20th North Carolinas and the 5th and the 1st and 23rd North Carolinas to 2710, 2609.
They can combine, yes.
Or I can move one in and one in the other hex.
Yep.
So one would move there.
Mm-hmm.
One would move there.
Mm-hmm.
This one.
And here's the tricky one.
This one will move. Hold on, let me just turn him because I'm going to mess up otherwise. Let me just turn him clockwise like that. Right, so this one would then move here. Yes.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I can now turn.
Rotate one vertex.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
One more to get to the vertex.
Hold on. Oh, not the vertex. I can't. It's a bit.
Yeah.
And then.
And then.
Oh, get off. And then. Highlight them all. There we go. And move here.
Yes. Perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
That looks nasty, even from my standpoint.
Yeah. That's what you call an effective attack.
Right.
Yep.
Okay, what happens now?
Well, you're not firing,
No.
and that's
Right.
the rest of your brigade. So we'll do the shot combat.
Charging. We're yelling and charging, and we're up to you now. We've fixed bayonets, and we go through the shock thing, do we?
Yeah.
So where is that? Where is the list for that? Is that the
It's the same place as the shock table, so it's on the
shock
back of.
resolution procedure? Yeah.
It's the last. Yeah.
So designate all targets of shock and charges. Well, that's all them three stats, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Perform retreat before shock.
Yeah. So I think I might try this.
Shoemaker is under attack orders.
But he's. Oh yeah. Sorry, he's part of Schoonmaker, isn't he?
Don't get
yeah,
that
sorry.
option.
Oh yeah. No, he doesn't retreat. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. No. Well
Green-
spotted. I
Oh,
thought
in
he'd
there,
still
Rough.
do
You're
Vals.
doing fine. What's the next step?
Green
So-
attack commitment check, but I don't think
No,
that
there's no green units, so ignore that.
Yeah.
So it's my cohesion check then.
Defender pre-shock cohesion check. Yeah.
Yeah. So I've got a +2 because of disordered and flanked.
And you're
I
checking
need a
morale?
5. Sorry.
You're checking against your morale, yeah?
Yes. Yeah,
Yep.
with a +2.
Okay.
He fails.
Oh, fails.
Not surprising
And
with a +2.
No.
second one.
And so just going through the disorder here table. So the pre-cohesion shock, pre-shock cohesion check. I put my teeth back in. I now roll again. If I pass, I
Yep.
lose a strength point and retreat. If I fail, I rout.
Because you're already disordered. Gotcha.
And I failed,
And
so
you
I rout.
routed.
You're gone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Okay.
So now here is the thing that you should take note of is because this happened in the pre-shock check for the Union,
Mm.
the entire shock process was not followed through
Yeah.
to the conclusion. So you now avoid the
Penalty.
post-shock disorder that results when you go all the way through.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, good.
They basically ran while you were coming,
Yeah.
and now you get to move one or actually, let me see. All of those units are going to combine in that hex. They all have to advance.
What? They have to go into one hex,
Yeah,
Yeah,
because they were all attacking.
Yeah.
into it. Yeah.
and the stack.
and
Okay.
yeah, the stacking's fine. You have up to what, 15, 16? So
Yeah.
3, 5, 7, 9, 12. Yeah, you can all fit there.
And we
So
can
you can
change.
go in.
Sorry, change facing.
Yes, you can change facing one vertex from any of them because they have to match.
Yeah. Okay. Now, overall's up the top there, up the road. He's going to be. So I'm just looking at Shoemaker, whatever his name is, Formula One driver.
Schoonmaker.
Is it Schoonmaker?
I think it is, yes.
I'm not exactly sure how it's pronounced, to be honest.
It could be Shoonmaker, but
Yeah, I think it is. It's at least spelled Shoemaker.
is it?
But
Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm being a bit Dutch here, possibly, or German, and being a bit Schoon.
Just wondering what this lot will do. Let's take a. These don't look like they're going to do anything, do they? No. Okay, so we're going to move all those into there. Yeah, move those into there. And then these we will turn before I put them in. Oh, poop. See what I mean? Gotcha. Right, and those go there. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, can we put the
Almost.
artillery back?
Sorry, what were we going to do?
You've moved the artillery there as well. The abandoned artillery.
I got it.
See, I thought I was doing so well. Thanks, guys. Right.
Now, the other thing that you would want to be sure of is that your sharpshooters, you want them to be at the top of the stack because they have that 8 cohesion. The rest have 7. So, barring any morale checks that involve the top unit, it's best to have the sharpshooters there. So
right, because they've got the better morale. Gotcha.
Yep.
And they are. So
yep. So now you don't have your post-shock disorder, which that pretty much takes out the whole regiment.
So next brigade, really.
Mm-hmm.
That's going to be Jackson.
Okay, so he is activating. Okay.
Now they're blown.
Yeah.
That mean they're puffed out and they've no energy left.
Right.
And they're disordered.
Yeah. So what can they do? He's out of command.
I would suggest a rally.
He's out of command, so pull back and rally, or
no, you can only rally in place.
right.
But
so
you've got all 3 of them there. You've got your brigadier there. He's lending a star. Let me see if there's
you
any.
do have
other
to take a
effect
check
of
because
blown.
I'm adjacent.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yes,
saying.
a +1.
Yeah.
Hang on. You need blown cavalry. Blown unit that suffers any disorder or step loss automatically loses an additional strength point. That's really bad. Automatically removed at the end of the next activation for the unit's command. So no matter what happens, you're going to the horses will recover their breath after this. I would think your best bet would be to try to rally, even though you are adjacent to the enemy.
Right. So
that's probably your best bet.
Makes sense. They're out of command. They can still do that. Yeah.
Yep.
So rally what on the morale?
Yes.
Yep.
It's the morale -1 because the brigadier is there, and +1 because you are adjacent to enemy units. So it's a straight up roll. They've all got 5s, so that's kind of dicey. But but the other thing is that because Jackson is there, you can't roll a 9, which would cause you to lose a strength point for stragglers. So that's the good thing, is that because Jackson's there, at least you won't lose any of those 1 strength point units.
Even with the blown condition?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So roll for each unit. 46. What's the VA again?
Virginia.
Virginia.
46th
right, okay.
Virginia Battalion, yeah.
Okay, 5 or less. Here we go. 4. Good.
He rallies. 19th Virginia.
It's the other one. I did the 46. I'm doing from top to bottom. Is that right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So 46. So let's get it. There we are. So you've done it. Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Next one is the 19th. 3.
They rally.
Wow.
All right. You're
Yeah.
doing well.
Yeah.
And
then
next one is the 17th. Come on, boys. Yes.
Yes. Wow.
Brilliant.
Well, the same die rolls that made your fire so ineffective are helping you when it comes time to
Yeah.
rally. So
Yes, certainly.
So,
Wow.
sorry, which fire was ineffective?
no, his
the one-
earlier fire.
You mean the
He
one
was
that
rolling 1s and 2s and everything for his fire.
I wasn't getting
except for the artillery and
Oh, the artillery.
Oh yeah,
which
Oh,
made
yeah. The artillery
another
was
unit
they were
rout
pretty
and-
good.
Yeah, okay. So I think it was a bit of a mixed bag with the firing. But yes.
All right. Okay.
So yes.
Now your 20th Virginia there in the back, they
Move him up.
can do something if you want.
We don't have to. I mean, or shall we? Schumacher 8. So you've got one under there. He's got another unit under there. I don't think it's worth attacking. It's a pretty even split. So we'll just move him. Where does he go on the stack? At the bottom, the top?
He couldn't move in with those units
Yeah,
because
too
his strength is too large.
Oh, yes. So we've got
Yeah,
7.
you're stacking for cavalry, I think is.
Now, because they're under attack orders, he could move adjacent and elect not to shock and get on the flank of his compatriots and improve their position. You could do that.
Could come here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yep. Absolutely.
Although, yeah, that's the frontal thing. Yeah, I could do that. Yeah. Okay, that's them done. Methinks.
I think so. You've got Vaughan and Lily left. If you're activating Vaughan. Oh no, sorry, he's standing, isn't he?
Yeah, he's
Yeah, so it's just Lily now.
So Lily.
Now,
yeah.
Also keep in mind that Vaughn tried to change his orders and failed, and he got a retain and stand.
Yeah.
So you could elect this to be the activation that he sits out. So
because he's out of command, he's got one less activation than the rest of the division.
Yeah.
And you can choose this to be that activation.
Yes.
So he doesn't do anything.
Now, ordinarily,
and he doesn't do anything, if you see what I mean.
Yeah.
Right.
You
now, ordinarily, if I hadn't kind of messed up on building this module, there would be in the PBEM markers tab, there's an inactive or skipped activation marker that you can use either on your order of battle card or on top of your AMs or on the map to mark units that skip a activation, but we're going to use this to show that he has fulfilled his sit out activation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So Lily.
Lily, right. Oh, we got a 3, 4, 5, 9. So, where are we going to move these down to? We can pass through units without worrying about stacking limits like in some games, as long as we sort that out
It
by the end of the move?
depends. It depends.
The artillery, yes.
Mm.
Not other infantry units. Other infantry units, you have to pay 2 movement points
Right.
to move through them, or your other option is to simply have a stack stand in place and you get whatever stacking order you want, but you don't move. It's kind of messy.
Yeah, you move into, if you want to move through, then it's going to cost you.
Right.
Yes.
Okay.
But artillery's fine.
I can stack them all as one because
What, the infantry?
yeah.
Yeah,
could do.
good.
They're not very big, are they?
If you end up in a woods hex,
When I'm going along the road,
stack there.
on the road as one unit, as one stack.
Yeah, the road doesn't really do anything for you because you're not in March, I think.
No, you can use a road
To
benefit,
get through.
but your stacking is 7 in a woods hex, so you would have to mine that.
Road, even on the road.
The road, I believe, would cost one movement point along a road. H. Yeah, units under advance orders pay 1. Units under march orders pay a half. So it negates the
woods.
The woods. But of course, the only caveat is that if you're going to use the road to enter the woods and offset it, the hex that you're entering it from has to be a woods hex. So in other words, if you were to try to go from 2210 into this hex, you would have to pay 2 for the woods because you're not on a road.
Side. It's only the hex side of the road.
But from here to there would be 1.
1, 2, 3, 4. So, so I can stack all these together, can I? What I want to do, and I'm not sure.
It's going to be tricky to see how they get there, but you can probably manage it.
That counts as a movement point. I'd have to move like the 58th Virginia, 1 to move left, and then another 1 to enter the stack. Yeah, is that right?
Not sure what you mean.
I don't know.
The one to get them in a stack, I've got to move them and use up movement points.
Yeah, you can just stick them in the same hex
without any movement point.
What do you mean without any?
No. What you're going to want to do is move them like a stack or a unit at a time, and just set it up
and form
so that they arrive in the same hex, and then they can stack together.
Yeah, that's what I wanted the answer to. Right, okay. Right. The reason I'm doing it is if I just move them like in a line, some will be moving further than others because they're on the road. So I just want to get them all together.
So figure out your farthest unit and how far they're going to be able to get, which would probably be this unit here.
Yeah, 1 on the other side, yeah. So
and if he were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, he could end up here by going 1, 2, 3, 4, then using the road 5, and then 6.
Hold on.
So he could get there.
Can't I do this? Can't I move it from the 13th? Move it right onto that other stack for 1.
Mm-hmm.
Move it again for 1 onto Lily.
Yeah, it gets you to the same place then.
But then it's 3, 4.
Provided that
it's 1, isn't it?
The other unit was not there, yes. But if you were to start with him, when you enter the hex with 31st Virginia, then you're going to have to pay 2 movement points to shove your way through their line to continue. And then the same thing with the stack with Lily in it. So I think what you want to do is start with Lily's unit because they're already on the road and get them up to the farthest point, which is probably going to be here.
Okay. and then
then collapse in with this and this unit, and
Yeah.
then this and this unit. That's
Okay.
probably the best.
Okay.
Intricate maneuvering.
Yeah.
You practice this on the parade ground, don't you remember?
Yes. So long ago, so many nightmares. So that there, yes, and then this one they just stack on top. Now, is there any order they have to be?
Well,
stack underneath.
you're not going to. Yeah, they all have to stack underneath in the order that they get into the hex.
Oh,
So
right.
you don't have that much control unless. Well, I mean, you could like start with this unit and then move him here and then to the hex, and then this unit 3, 4, 5, 6 into the hex, and then finally this unit like that.
Okay, I'm going to move these out the way because otherwise we know that's where they are. And then we can move this one in first here. Yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it would go 1, 2, along the road.
Yep.
And then which one?
Whichever one you like.
You have your choice.
I mean, it doesn't really matter. Order it how you like in the order that you move them.
Oh, come here. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then these back on top. There we are.
Yep.
Good? All good?
Right.
That's it, yeah.
Okay.
Just like you practice it on the parade ground.
Now
you're in a massive column of 4s.
Yeah.
Okay. So that's one activation.
Yeah. It takes a while.
And we're just about to the 2-hour mark, so we'd probably shut it down there, I think.
It would be a good remembering place to do that, yep.
Yes. And we leave the suspense on who gets to activate next out of the chat, because it's now random.
All right.
And
so end your log file and save your game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I didn't do a log file. I just saved the game. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So. You should get in the habit of saving log files because they enable you to go back and revisit everything, see what you did wrong, or
I'm not good
agonize over over the things you.
I'm not a good enough player to actually want to actually go over what I've done before.
I understand that. There are some log files that are probably best left unopened.
Yes. Yes.
Let that go.
Electronically burnt.
I think just surviving the game is good enough for me. Yeah. Brilliant.
Good. All right. Well, there. So, so the Confederates are really in charge here. I'm running out of units.
Yeah.
They're all disappearing.
They're in good shape.
Yeah. I thought we were after those battle rolls and the routes and things. I thought we were going to have a bit of a problem.
I think the issue is you've had 3 activations in a row where I've just sat there and taken it.
Yes.
Which is quite tough. Seeing as I had 4 chits last turn.
Yeah.
Right.
And they all happened at the start, and then from then on it's been 3 chits directly. So I think that's been a great thing because effectively I'm where I was 4 activations ago. Well, the remains of what's there is just been a punching bag really. So the chit pulls have been tricky.
That I think is one of the major benefits of this iteration compared to the original Terrible Swift Sword system, which was a strict you go, I go.
Yes.
And in that system, you could never really outflank an enemy position because they could count, movement factors as well as you can, and they can always, stay one step ahead as long as they're willing to cede, some ground and get around that because they know the order that things are going to happen. With chit pull, you don't know the efficiency of the enemy, so you don't know how many times he's going to get to move, and you don't know the order past, the first division that is chosen to move in a turn? You don't know. So you can do things like say this were a bigger battle, and say that the cavalry had its own activations, so they were separate from the infantry. In that case, even if the cavalry drew a really low efficiency number, say 1, say you only get 1. Now, the Union player doesn't know that, so if you either elect to start with Vaughn or you get the cavalry to be drawn early, you could use that to kind of move your units kind of around to the flank and suggest that you're trying a flanking maneuver. And done properly, you could put it in the Union's mind that, oh, he knows that he's got another couple of activations in the bag for later that he's going to use to launch an attack. And then the Union might pull back and give up a position without a fight, not knowing that the cavalry has already shot its bolt for the whole turn. So that's something you cannot do with the terrible swift sword system, because it's you go, I go, and you know how many times the enemy is going to move in a given time period. So that fog of war is one of the main benefits of this. Being able to, say, draw 2 activations in a row and move twice before the enemy gets a chance to do anything, can be utilized. Just like, choosing to coordinate and getting 2 brigades to launch a big shock attack and envelop a position as 1 brigade rather than, chancing a couple of activations consecutively, which you don't know are going to come out of the hat. All of that is there, but it's all cloaked in a lot of, well, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know if your coordination will be successful. You don't know what order the chits are going to come out of the hat. You just don't know. So you can make some basic plans, but as we know about plans, they never survive enemy contact. And this system, I think, really illustrates that very, very well.
There is a lot of subtleties with this game, and I know it's very complex. Well, there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's very complex, but it's also very subtle as well. Because, like you said, you bluff. He's gonna need at least a couple of activations to do that flanking attack with his cavalry. So we better pull back. He's obviously got a couple of activations, so we better pull back. Whereas, as you say, he hasn't, and they've won that piece of ground without a fight. So I can see it's very clever. Very clever.
Yes. There's a lot of subtlety and also a lot of flavor. You get to see the effects of different weaponry and whether or not you make a frontal charge or a flank attack, and the differences in what can happen if your units are disordered, and route rot can set in for one side and not the other, as you guys saw.
Brilliant.
All of those are subtleties that are brought out, and you have to choose your tactics, how you move. It's not just maybe a question of whether you have the right orders, but what order do you do it? The attack that Rough just put in. He could have just rashly just gone up there and put all those units in frontal hexes, and who knows what it would have happened. But in the end, the Union unit, failed to man up and stand for the charge. So we'll never know. But that flank attack, had it gone all the way through to completion, that would have added a +3. Or actually more than that, it would have been front and flank. That's a +4 to, the die roll, which makes it pretty much a fait accompli. So, you have to know what you've got, how you're attacking, all those sort of things. It's very, very,
It's a,
very subtle.
I think it's a game, and aren't they all like that? That you have to play a goodly amount of times to appreciate it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But then in our in our line of work, so to speak, in early commerce, we play a game, we move on. We don't get the benefit of constantly playing a game to get all the little foibles and things, which is a shame. Is a shame.
Well, we sometimes play a few times, but you do practice games and stuff before you do a recording or a session or something like that. But you don't get really into it.
Yeah, this game looks like you need that experience of playing to get every little thing out of it. But it's great. I'm enjoying it.
Yeah.
There you go. I'd never 6 months ago, Stiglr, I'd never said to you, oh well, I'll be playing an American, Civil War game. It just wasn't on my radar. Now look at me.
Yeah, no, look at you. Yeah, indeed.
And saying all that's left now is Napoleonics, and I'm going, get out of here. So,
which is actually, pretty similar. I mean, this is only about 50 years after the end of the Napoleonic era. If you, count Waterloo as the end of the Napoleonic era, it's only close to 50 years hence. So a lot of the tactics, the line tactics and columns and all of that are pretty much still in vogue, but not for much longer.
No. So the technology is starting to have an impact.
Yes.
The rifled muskets and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, the rifled musket, and that's another subtlety that you can really, really see in this system if you're playing the 1862 battles, where you see that the rifled muskets have a +1 either adjacent or at range 2, and the muskets, the smoothbore muskets, have a +2 adjacent and a -2 at range 2.
Yeah.
And only range 2.
So you get to play some games sometimes with that if you have a mix of units. And that has all kinds of effects too. So
indeed.
Brilliant.
Good.
Right. Thank you so much.
Well, thanks very much, Stiglr, for checking in and helping us with this. Though, much appreciated.
Yeah.
As I said, the king of GBACW, as always.
Yeah. Well, maybe a prince. I'll take that on.
They're a Stiglr formerly known as Prince.
There we go.
I'm full of them. And thanks, of course, Rough, for bleeding on my units and driving them off the board. Much appreciated for that. Come again.
And thanks for everybody in the chat. If we didn't get a chance to say hi, because I'm focusing on this blooming thing. So it is thanks everyone.
So I was monitoring it. It went a bit quiet because I think everybody else was focusing as well. Either that, or they'd fallen asleep or buggered off doing something else, which is probably more likely. Let's face it. But know what's good for them. So yes, we that's it for this evening. We should be able to do next week, although I do need to have a chat with Rough about logistics and things. So stay tuned on the channel and look out on Twitter or Consim World community and also the channel to see what pops up. We should be showing you a few things fairly shortly on the channel, so look out for those. Not trying to be secretive here at all. Don't worry. Nothing major. Again, thanks again to Stiglr and Rough, and thanks everybody for watching. And we'll see you next time. Until then, Rough and Stiglr, last words from you.
Absolutely. Brilliant. Really enjoying it. It's a heavy game. I know very little about the subject, but I'm learning all the time. Yeah. So it's great. And it's great to see people like Stiglr with their enthusiasm for these sort of games.
Indeed.
Which is infectious, which makes me want to play it. So thanks again for that, Stiglr.
Great.
All right. I had a good time, and I'll try and make an effort to to be here for further tilts at the list, and
Sure.
yeah,
Okay.
we'll see if
Well,
we can't get
glad
you
to have you.
guys to a new level of awareness about
A new plane of existence on
There
Battles of
you
the
go.
American Civil War. Yes, we will. We will struggle towards Nirvana. As if. Okay. Well, thanks, guys, and thanks, chat. Thanks for sticking with us through this, and we'll see you next time. Until then, bye for now. Go, done.